Started on time today. Thank you for joining us. This is our 10th in a series of webinars for small business, navigating the impacts of COVID-19. I'm Barbara Coffey, Director of Economic Initiatives for the City of Tucson. We have a fantastic program today to share with you, which I hope you will find useful, in particular if you're a small business with a bricks and mortar location working to rebuild your business. We have guest speakers representing an Arizona-based company, Hownd, who has rolled out a web-based marketing platform that I think you'll find intriguing. As always, we'll take your questions as we go, so feel free to enter your questions in the chat box or the Q&A, and we'll get to as many of those as possible in our time together. We will ask all participants to stay muted so we can have a good dialogue. We have a large number of attendees. But we will be able to have, I think, a very good interactive session and answer a lot of questions about this opportunity. We will record the session and make it available for everyone tomorrow. Typically by the afternoon tomorrow it will be posted. You can find links to all our previous webinars and then this one at connecttucson.com. So you can look for that tomorrow. And we'll get started. I'm going to introduce both of our key speakers from Hownd, and then I'll turn it over to them to share and demonstrate and walk through the platform. Larry Fleischman is Vice President of Field Marketing. Ding, we're saved by the bell. And he has more than 25 years of business-to-business and business-to-consumer marketing experience. He works with many economic development partners across the state, the country, launching programs like the one you're going to hear about today. Adam Russell is Vice President of Sales for Hownd and one of the company's first employees. He has more than 10 years of experience helping small business owners drive more revenue and customers through their doors using digital channels. He played an instrumental role in the development of Hownd's Buy Now, Visit Later support voucher program, and he has helped deliver this innovative solution as well as Hownd's other promotional offer solutions to thousands of merchants. So with that, I'll turn it over to Larry and Adam.
Okay, thanks, Barbara. Hi, everybody. All right, thanks for sharing your screen. I was just going to assume everybody can hear me. Barbara, shake your head if you can't.
Yes.
You're good? Okay, terrific. All right, you're not going to hear much from me this afternoon. You'll hear mostly from Adam Russell, who Barbara introduced as our head of sales. Adam has a lot to talk about how the program works. I just wanted to take a minute really to thank the City of Tucson, you, Barbara, and John Moffitt with Pima County for seeing the opportunity here and for jumping on it quickly. So I just want to take about a minute to talk a little bit about how the partnership looks, how it all came together. What community support looks like. We've got some examples of this, as Barbara mentioned, we've executed with other cities as well. So we'll talk a little bit about how that works. We've got a couple testimonials from merchants who, if the technology works well, will be able to join us live and talk a little bit about their experience with the program as well. And so you can skip ahead to the next slide. Perfect. So just a few points. Look, you all know this better than anybody. It is tough enough as it is to run a small business, and the pandemic certainly did not make that any easier for us, for anybody. It was crushing, as you know, for a lot of businesses. We wanted to find a way to connect consumers and merchants during this unique time in a way that was a little different from how we had done it in the past. So we responded quickly and temporarily kind of shifting our business model to offer what we have come to call our support vouchers, Buy Now, Visit Later support vouchers at the time. The generic reference is support vouchers. And essentially, it's a really easy way, a quick way for consumers who are in a financial position to do so and had a desire to do so, to support their local businesses, their favorite businesses that they've been to in the past and that they wanted to go visit in the future, but just didn't have an opportunity to during the pandemic. And it essentially just allowed them to buy a support voucher through the Hownd platform, whether that was through the app or through email or through a merchant's website or on social media. And the merchant would receive, the business would receive 100% of the revenue immediately, even though the consumer couldn't go into the store or place of business until later. That turned out to be a cash lifeline for many of the participating merchants who took part in this program. So far, we're up a little over $1.5 million in immediate revenue that we've generated in just the last 6 or 7 weeks since we started the program. And so we're extending that now through the city of Tucson and Pima County to all of you. And since businesses are now starting to reopen and think about reopening, we've expanded the program to include buy now offers and coupons as well, which include more of our traditional offerings. And the really nice thing about the program, what the city of Tucson and Pima County have generously done is created a separate budget to pay for what we call our results delivered pricing. That's the normal, usual fee during normal times that we typically charge a merchant to participate in the program. And essentially, it's a fee that gets charged only when we bring a new paying customer through your door who redeems the voucher, the buy now offer, the coupon, or whatever the promotional offer may be. And so Tucson and Pima County have set aside budgets to cover these fees. So you don't pay anything. There's zero risk to you to participate in this program. And as that fund becomes depleted near the end of what we're calling the promotional period, you'll be notified, we'll make you aware of it, and you'll have the opportunity to continue running your offers with Hownd after that time. And then you'll be responsible for that nominal results delivered pricing fee. As far as community support goes, we're going to have some announcements to make over the next couple of weeks. What worked well with us when we did this similar program with the city of Tempe was we brought together a lot of community partners. Barbara and John with the county are doing the same thing. So we're going to have some big names to announce soon. And essentially, the promotional partners will really just help make consumers more aware of the program. Some cases they have unique audiences, and so they'll be taking the Hownd message, the city message and the county message, and talking to their constituents a little bit more about how the program works. There will be a set of unified messaging, so everybody's going to receive the same message. We'll do it through email, we'll do it through social media. We've got a landing page that Adam is going to tell you about in a second. The city and county will have their landing pages as well. City and county also have newsletters, and then we'll be doing some press releases, PR, and general media outreach. So the point of telling you all that is to say that this is going to be a very broadly distributed and amplified message that many, if not all, consumers throughout the city of Tucson and Pima will be hearing about. And the point of all that is the more consumers that are aware, the more they can take advantage of your offers, the more merchants that are participating. Just success begets more success. And we're calling this our Raise the Sales program. All right, very good. Last slide, and then we'll turn to a couple of our Tempe merchants so they can talk to you a little bit about the experience they had. Many of you may be familiar with Michael Peel with Local First Arizona. Michael and I had a great conversation the other day, huge supporter of what's happening down in the business community in Tucson. We've worked with Local First long before the pandemic, so Michael's a good friend. Thomas Barr here in Phoenix is a good friend of Hownd. They've had great success and have introduced a lot of businesses to Hownd. So if you've got questions about Hownd that you feel comfortable just asking somebody like Michael, and you know Michael, feel free to reach out to him directly. And then I'll give you just a second to read a testimonial from Gwen Gustafson, who runs a company in Tempe called Arizona Fund Services. I like the way Gwen put this. In a very dark time, Hownd brought some light to her situation. All right, so if technology is working, I'd like to invite Charla from Joyful Yoga.
We actually have Jesselyn from Cafe Boa on the call.
Hi, okay, hi Jesselyn, we'll start with you then.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep, we can hear.
Oh, cool, great. This is my first Zoom, so this is exciting. No, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this and, you know, reaching out to all of us. It means a lot, of course. I guess, yeah, no, Hownd has been extremely successful for us since they partnered with Tempe, and it's as simple as just having it reflective on our website. As soon as someone goes to our website, the promotions and the deals are right there, and it's just very user-friendly. It's, you know, extremely profitable on both ends, I think, both as a customer, user, and as a business owner. It's been really, really great for all of us. So I appreciate it very much.
That's awesome. And Larry, if you don't mind too, I wanted to remind the audience that that we watched what Tempe did. We saw the example of how Tempe was able to respond and in a similar way make the Hownd platform available. And so Jesselyn, maybe you can describe what that was like as, some reaching out and helping the small businesses on the part of the city. What was your first thought, and how has it been for you?
That's a great question. We kind of took about a good week to sort of take our time brainstorming and seeing what was kind of available for our community. So what we needed to do right away was just kind of scale everything down as far as like food costs goes and drinks. So we offered everything we could to our employees first, and then kind of reached out to our local communities to see what places needed assistance or help or just anything in that regard. So when we got time to just doing to-go orders during the 8 weeks of quarantine, we tried to think of whatever we could do to help our customers and our local community in Tempe and Phoenix and everywhere around us. So by having an option to have gift cards that would, support us in the future, but also could still be obtainable for those who wanted to still celebrate birthdays and anniversaries during this hard time, it made it super, super convenient when Hownd said, hey, like, let us take that upon us to kind of promote that better for you. And so it just definitely encouraged that kind of, whatever people could feel, hey, I want to give back, but maybe it's just not in food form at the moment. I can definitely buy a gift card and spread that joy around. So that was great.
That's awesome. And did you have a website or a strong digital presence already? How was it for you in that regard?
We had a little bit of a local following through Instagram and Facebook, and it increased so much during this time. So we're very thankful that we have social media during this time to be able to kind of communicate to everybody and keep everyone updated as things change day to day. So with that, we were able to grow our Instagram followers a bit more, and people who were able to get in touch with us, whether they just called or not, they were able to look at our website and see the updates. And so it definitely has increased for sure.
Yeah. So the digital presence has been important, I would imagine, and all of us we're communicating that way now, and
right.
We're having meetings now that way. So, well, great. Thanks, and thanks, Larry, for letting me jump in. I think it's always good to hear from a local business their perspective of how to utilize some of these programs, and maybe there's more, more to that. I'll turn it
Absolutely.
back.
Sure. Jessalyn, real quick before you hop off, I just saw a question asking about the ease of the redemption process. Can you talk a little bit about how that worked for you?
Yeah, so typically when customers purchase the Hownd gift cards via our website, they're going to get an automatic email back to them that then tells them to download the application. So there is a couple little steps to go through, but it's very smooth and easy. All you have to do is just have the Hownd app downloaded, and then your purchase that you already made with for Cafe Boa for the gift card will automatically load onto your app. So it'll show up right there. It'll be easy to click. You just swipe to redeem, and then it confirms it on our end that it's been used. So everyone is taken care of in that regard.
Okay, good. All right, thanks for addressing that.
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, Adam, was anybody else on, or just should we go right to you?
Yeah, no, I think that was it. Thank you so much, Jessalyn, for the feedback, and I hope that helped everybody that was on the call today understand a little bit about the impact that we can have by just letting the community know that you're there, and obviously allowing them to be able to support you. And as we had already mentioned earlier in the call, we generated $1.5 million on this program since we started it about 8 weeks ago. And as you just heard from Jessalyn and Cafe Boa, they've actually generated over $4,200 in the last 8 weeks on this program. And you can see some of the success that we've seen across the board from different businesses here in Tempe. So obviously, the community is looking for ways that they can support you guys. And we can make it super easy to get the word out there. So we'll kind of switch gears now, and we'll talk about how Hownd works. And kind of go into the nuts and bolts, and then show you guys how easy it is to get signed up. So before we get started, we first obviously want to talk about the storm that everybody has gone through over the last 8 to 10 weeks. And obviously with the recent developments over the weekend, the storm is not quite over for many of us. And so, we wanted to make sure that we gave you guys an opportunity or gave a way that you guys can get support from your community, because we've seen the customer foot traffic go to a standstill, even as businesses open, and the capacity issues that present themselves. We've seen a lot of issues there as well. And obviously the financial struggles and the difficulties for, sustaining your business until you can reopen. So that's why we came up with what we're calling the time to raise your sales, and really just get back out there and reopen your business. So the first thing I want to talk about is what we noticed kind of before COVID was that traditional marketing is broken. There's just really too many different tools out there that are all asking small business owners to pay for effort instead of results. So no matter what the results are that you get, you're being asked to put up a monthly subscription, setup fees, upfront costs. You're already wearing too many hats, and it's complex and time consuming. And so that's why we came up with what we call results delivered pricing, which means we only charge on our platform when it works. We only charge for results. There's zero risk, and it's a flat rate fee. Now, as we talked about earlier in the presentation, this is actually being covered by the sponsorship for 1 year. So there's no upfront cost. There's no risk to use the platform. There's no risk to get your support vouchers, buy nows, or coupons out to the community so that people can support you and come in and visit your business when they feel comfortable. Like I said, this is all paid by the city of Tucson and Pima County for the first year of the program, or until those sponsorship fees run out. So let's talk about what is a support voucher and what makes this different than potentially a gift card, or let's say your web store that you have on your website now. Well, what this is it's really an easy, simple landing page that somebody can buy directly from you wherever they bump into you online. And these can be set up at any price point you want. So it's 5% off, 10% off, 20% off. You can do 0% off if that's what you feel comfortable with. 100% of the funds is directly deposited into your business bank account within 24 hours. Now, the biggest difference between this and, let's say, your web store or gift card program is it's designed for conversion. So what I mean by that is we have a one-click purchase process. This is the same technology as like the big players in the world, Amazon, Samsung, Google, have all applied in their technology, and we're applying that same technology for you. So literally all we need from a consumer to purchase is a name, an email, and a credit card number, and they're able to make that purchase directly from you. And this is how you get those impulse purchases with less than 30 seconds from the time somebody sees your promotion to the time that they put their credit card in and purchased. And the best part is we curate this and we distribute it for you. So we actually build and make sure it looks aesthetically pleasing so that anything that goes out for your brand looks great and fits your brand profile. So let's talk about where this support voucher can go. As soon as you get signed up, and get your listing approved, you are listed on the MyHownd community. And as Jesselyn said earlier, the MyHownd app is a great way to get in front of thousands of consumers in your area. What they're going to be able to see is local offers or local support vouchers that they can purchase. And we're going to be promoting that not only through the partnership with the city of Tucson and Pima County, but also promoting it to the consumers that are already part of our MyHownd consumer community in your area. This is completely effortless for you. As soon as you approve your offer, you are listed on the MyHownd consumer community. Just as important as being listed on the community, we want to make sure that we can make it as easy as possible for people to purchase directly from you guys wherever they bump into you online. So social media is super important. With one click, we can instantly push your support vouchers or any other types of offers that we're running directly into the news feed of your fans on social media so that they can click and purchase in that same one-click purchase process directly from social media. The second place is email. We can instantly upload your emails by connecting with Constant Contact, MailChimp, or getting a list of your contacts from whatever point of sale that you use. And instantly blast this support voucher or whatever promotion you guys want to run directly to the consumer's email. And they're able to purchase in less than 30 seconds right from their smartphone. About 80% of our purchases come directly from a consumer's smartphone. So we want to make sure that your offer looks nice and aesthetically pleasing on phone so that they can purchase directly from you. The third area is your website. We can instantly install a website pop-up on your site so that when somebody comes to see when you guys are opening or what your business hours are, or any updates that you guys might have posted on your website, the first thing that they're going to see is an easy way to support you by buying that support voucher directly from you. And as before, as 100% of those funds go directly into your bank account as soon as that purchase is made. And obviously, as we said before, the Hownd consumer community is that fourth channel that we want to make it really easy for people to find you in your local area. And consumers that are within 10 to 20 miles of your local, of your actual location will see your offers pop up in their actual app that they can purchase directly from you. And as we said before, there's no upfront cost, there's no risk, and there's no charge for those customers coming through your doors. Now, we talked a lot about the support voucher today, but I want to talk also about the other types of promotions or offerings that we can actually send out on behalf of your business. So we have coupon claims, buy nows, and support vouchers. And these are obviously designed to generate foot traffic to come directly back into your location. The biggest difference between the buy now, support voucher, and coupon claim is a coupon is obviously just going to require an email address, and that person will pay you cash or credit whenever they arrive at your location. The buy now and the support voucher will get pre-purchase revenue that'll be directly deposited into your bank account as soon as that transaction goes through. So it really is up to you on what type of promotion that you want to run within our system. And would you rather have people paying you when they arrive, or do you need those funds now that you can use for whatever you need as soon as those funds are deposited into your bank account? Data collection is also just as important. I'm sure, as you guys know, with it being harder to get customers to come through your door, we need to make sure that we're making it as easy as possible to collect their data when they come to your website or when they come to your facility. So an easy way to do that is just to put a pop-up on your website that collects birthdays from people who come to your actual site. And I figured the easiest way for me to show you guys this is just to give you guys a real live example. And since we have Jesselyn on the call, I think Cafe Boa would be a great example to show. So we're here on Cafe Boa's website. And if you see, the first thing that's going to pop up when somebody actually comes to this site is an offer that has a dine-in ready with Cafe Boa, enjoy up to 25% off vouchers. So they're running their support voucher here, but you can also see that they're collecting data. So if somebody comes to this site and they want to be part of their birthday club, they can easily click on this page, put in their name, their email, their phone number, their birthday, their anniversary, and we even take it a step further and we collect kids' birthdays. And what we'll do is our system will automatically send out a promotion on that birthday or on that anniversary month, prompting that person to come in and visit you for that big special occasion. So all of these things are happening automatically behind the scenes because we know the more data that we can help you collect, the better off the whole system's going to run and the more customers coming through your door. So by making it easy for us to collect this data off your website, or more importantly, make it easy for people to support you off your website so that they can come here and within 2 clicks, buy that support voucher by putting in their name, email, and credit card, and 100% of those funds go directly into your bank account, as you saw in less than 30 seconds of a purchase. And that's how simple we want to make it for you guys, on making it as easy as possible for your customers to purchase from you, whether they're new or existing, from wherever they bump into you online. Whether this is the first time they see you through the My Hownd app, or this is one of your favorite customers that just wants to be able to support you, even though they might not be comfortable coming in. A stat that I read the other day that kind of stood out to me was that 60% of Americans are still not comfortable going to businesses in person. So dining in or even visiting retail locations in person. So even though the government is reopening, and even though the businesses are reopening, a lot of your consumers aren't comfortable coming in. And that's why we need to make it easy for them to still be able to support their favorite businesses, support the businesses that they love, and then come and see you when they actually feel comfortable to come in. We have to make it easy for people to purchase when they feel comfortable to see you. Best part about this, guys, is we make it super simple for you guys to know if it's working or not. You're gonna have a dashboard that you'll be able to easily log into and see how much revenue has been direct deposited into your bank account, how many purchases have been made or how many coupons have been claimed, and how many visitors or how many customers actually walk through your door and redeem that offer on their phone. So we make it super easy for you guys to know what's working and what's not. And we'll obviously make adjustments based on that if we see something that's not working in the system as well. Now, what's really cool about this is we make it super easy for you guys to get started. And as we talked about, there is no upfront cost. From the city of Tucson and Pima County and Hownd, we have all partnered together to cover your results delivered pricing costs. So that means you can run unlimited coupons, gift cards, buy now offerings. We can run unlimited birthday and anniversary offerings. And remember, those are the ones that go out automatically on those birth dates and on those anniversary months. We also can put a pop-up on your website so that we can collect data, as well as put those support vouchers or any other promotions you ever want to run on your site within one click of a button. And as we said, there's no upfront cost, there's no setup fees, there's no monthly subscription. This is a way that we are looking to help drive more traffic into your guys' location as you guys are reopening your doors. One last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll show you guys how easy it is to get signed up, is Wi-Fi data collection. And this is just something that's optional. You guys can reach out if you are interested in potentially adding something like this. There is a small fee for the actual hardware. But what's important about the Wi-Fi data collection is when somebody actually walks into your door, you want to make sure that you're capturing their information so that you can get them to come back. So how our Wi-Fi data collection works is this will actually sit on top of your Wi-Fi and will ask somebody to join the Wi-Fi by either giving their email address or a Facebook login. Once they do that, we get all their information. We get their email, we get their birth date, and we're able to actually start marketing to them for those different dates. More importantly, we send them what's called a bounce back offer because we know they were actually in your location. We'll send them something to their phone saying, hey, thanks for coming in. Come back in the next 2 weeks and get 15% off your next purchase or get $10 off your next purchase. And what we're doing is we're getting them to come back in a shorter period of time than if they would have just came back on their own. We know they came in, we know they were on your Wi-Fi. Let's send them an offer that they can come in and use either on that same visit or in a shorter period of time to get them back in your door. And this all happens automatically behind the scenes. There's nothing additional you guys need to do other than just plug in the piece of hardware we send out into your router, and everything else is handled from there.
So, Adam, I'll pause for a minute as I look at a lot of questions, and so I want to bring some of those up because Larry's been doing a good job answering a few. But people were asking questions. First of all, they were quick to say, how do we sign up for Hownd? So I wanted to be sure that you all have that information, and you can put that in the larger chat box as well. But you were just about to get us to the page, hownd.com/Tucson-PIMA. And
That's
then you can also contact Adam at hownd.com, HOWND.com after the webinar, because Adam will be working with all of our small businesses to get them through the process, through the sign up process. The app is available at myhownd.com, and make sure you're muted. If I think that might be Charlo, and I definitely want to say hello to her in a minute. And the question was, if you'd like to buy a voucher for a family or friend, can you transition that voucher to that person? And Larry did confirm there is a gifting feature in the app. There's also a question, is this available for businesses outside of the city of Tucson? And the answer here is that yes, with our Pima County partners, that does enable us to extend a broader reach. And we're excited that John Moffitt, the economic development team with Pima County, also got excited for the same reasons we did, that this is something we want to make available. And as Adam, you were talking about the different kinds of intelligence and data collection that can happen. I really think that's a unique feature that maybe even if someone has a website already, they may not be doing a lot of that. Are you seeing that as you set up businesses? What's the advantage here?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest difference between how we collect data and how you probably have tried to collect data in the past by just putting an email collection form on your website is ours instantly monetizes that data. So the way that we do it is we'll collect the data, but we'll give an incentive to that person for the data, because we know that a small incentive will prompt somebody to not only give you their data, but also give you their birthday, give you their anniversary, and potentially all of their kids' birthdays as well. And so a small incentive is the biggest difference, because as soon as they give us their data, we're going to send them what we call a bounce back offer that will actually be something they can either purchase or claim, and that is designed to drive traffic into your location. So even if you don't want to run, let's say, a promotion to your whole email list, or have a promotion that everybody can see on your website, have a data collector up on your website that says, hey, join our birthday club for a special gift. And that allows us to monetize that data when we want, or when the business sees fit, whether that's for a birthday party, or maybe a birthday meal, or it could be any sort of services for health and beauty for their birthday month, right? So there's a lot of different things that we can do with this data that you might be trying to collect now, but by just simply adding this extra incentive to doing it, and it doesn't have to be a lot, it can just be a special gift for your birthday. And that kind of wording and phrasing really works well. But the more data that you collect, whether it's through your website online, or whether it's through Wi-Fi when somebody actually arrives at your location, the better and more sustainable of a business model that you'll be able to create.
So Adam, Charlene is asking about who owns the customer information, and then how new customers coming on the platform, what happens there, and then what would the business need to know?
Yeah, great question. So you obviously own all of your customer data. So if there was any time that you decided to part ways with Hownd, you'd be able to export all that data. One of the cool things too is if anybody does make a purchase through the MyHownd app for your business, we give you that data as well. So it's not something like Groupon where if they're purchasing from us, we're holding that data as our own. We want you guys to take that data, and we want you guys technically to remarket to that data using the Hownd platform. But if you decided not to use the Hownd platform and wanted to use a different platform to remarket to those people down the road, that's all of your data. And obviously, we're CAN-SPAM compliant, we're HIPAA compliant, and we follow the GDPR compliance as well.
So I really like that, because I think for the business, they can bring in the existing customer lists, and I'm sure they have many loyal customers, right? They can bring that list in, but then they're going to be generating lots of new customers utilizing the Hownd platform. and then they get to take that with them. So I think it's awesome. I have Edward is already very excited. I guess he's going and trying to walk through the sign up system. Do you have any advice for stepping through that process, or what would you recommend as a first step to moving forward on the Hownd platform?
Yeah, great question, Barbara and Edward. And that transitions right into the next step here. So we do have a landing page created, hownd.com/Tucson-Pima. So if you go to that page, you'll be able to fill out a form to request more information, and that'll get somebody from my team reaching out to walk you through the sign up process. We can walk you through the sign up process, get your first offer, and help you with some of the other onboarding steps during that call. So I'd highly recommend using our team to do that. However, if you want to go ahead and get started on your own, you just have to go ahead and click the sign up button, and it'll take you to this page here where you'll create an account. All you'll be asked to do here is put in your password. You will be asked to choose a business category, and you will be asked to put in a credit card. However, there will be no charges put on that credit card. This credit card is just required to set up the account and to confirm your business. But like I said, you will not be charged anything on that card, and you will be notified after the year of the partnership is over before any charges would incur on that card. So I just want to make that super clear there. And when you do get signed up and you do create that account, there's 5 really simple steps to making sure that you're getting the full use of the platform. We have what's called a quick start page, which will have all the resources you guys need to get started. And you can also call into our support line and get any help if you guys are having any questions. But the key ones is just to set up your offering, right? Set up what you guys want your first initial support voucher to be. So do you want it to be 10% off, 15% off, 20% off, or 25% off like Cafe Boa did? Second is upload your customer list. So we have a really easy way for you guys to send us that list, or if you use something like Constant Contact or MailChimp, a simple, easy connect. And then the third thing is to add the pop-up to your website. We give you 1 line of code. It's just a line of JavaScript that either you or your webmaster can install on the site. It's super simple. It takes less than 5 minutes. We just need it on 1 page, and then it'll copy across the whole site. So wherever anybody arrives on that site, they'll actually see that pop up. And then number 4 is connecting to Stripe. Stripe is our payment processor. So we want to make sure that as soon as you get set up, we can pay you as soon as those funds start coming in. So that's a key kind of step to making sure that obviously we can pay you. And number 5 is just making sure that your business information is correct. All of these things, these 5 steps, take less than 15 minutes. And once we have these set up, it's fully automated. We'll push it out across all the different channels for you. The money will be directly deposited in your bank account, and you'll have that dashboard that you can easily go see the results of how the platform is working and how many customers are still coming in.
That's awesome. So Adam, the question is, does the merchant need to enter a promo code when they sign up?
No, the merchant doesn't need to enter any sort of promo code. As long as you go to the hownd.com/Tucson-Pima page, it'll bring you right into the sign up flow. Just go through that section. Like I said, fill it out, fill out the credit card form is the last step. Once that account's created, it'll send you all the instructions from there on how to get the rest of your account set up. If you guys need help though, please make sure that you contact the sales team. And my email is here on this next slide. You can send an email to the demo@hownd.com, or if you just fill out the form on the hownd.com/Tucson-Pima page, it'll send a notification to my team and somebody will be reaching out within minutes. So we're very quick to get back and help you get your account set up. And I'd highly recommend using somebody here on our team to help you get things set up, help you get your offer live, and just kind of walk you through this first few steps.
And I think that's awesome, right? That we have the support team is really at the ready, right? To help our businesses navigate this process. But you've done such a great job of explaining it as well, and so I appreciate that. There's a question from Christina. Do you have any examples of how this can work for a business-to-business activity? So maybe, and Christina, maybe you're not bricks and mortar, or maybe you are, but you're more of a service industry. What are your thoughts, Adam?
Yeah. So I would say, not knowing too much about the type of business, if you have a location that somebody, or at least a website that somebody comes to, and then, from there they come and see you, let's say, for that service, you can put up the same pop-up. So this can be applied. If I go back here we'll go to Joyful Yoga's page. This pop-up can say anything and can be anything. And we can customize this landing page for whatever offer. Now, the biggest thing though is that the brick and mortar location needs to be in existence, because somebody has to actually bring that offer on their phone and arrive at that location to redeem the offer. That's how we know they've actually arrived. That's how we know they actually used the coupon or the buy now, is when they actually arrive at your location. So that being said, if you don't have a physical location, this is probably not the best fit for you for the offers and the support vouchers at this time. But it is also could be something you could still use for data collection, and still helping you collect more data just by simply putting this pop-up up here on your site. So if you do have additional questions, feel free to reach out and I can walk you through how it would apply to your specific business.
Okay, and that sounds like they do custom optical design, she says, and she is intrigued by the data collection and the landing pages. So that's good. Now there's a question from Kate. What happens if a consumer buys an offer for their favorite restaurant or store, but sadly that business ends up going out of business? Is the consumer out that money?
So that is a great question, and technically yes, and that's why we call them support vouchers, because they are for the people who can support, right? And the business owner is obviously not going to be able to be held accountable for those funds if they do go out of business. So there is that risk that the consumer is taking to support their local businesses that they love, and obviously understanding that potentially some of those businesses might not make it through this crisis. So there is that risk, I guess, on the consumer end. Now, obviously, if the business was in a position to still make that refund, it's up to them. But we're a merchant-focused company, so we give that discretion up to the business. Same thing with refunds. We give that discretion up to you guys, the business owner, on whether or not you want to apply a refund for somebody. And the same kind of discretion goes towards business closures as well.
And my response on that is it's similar to other gift card programs, right? We have already in Tucson bought gift cards from some of our merchants that are doing the similar promotions. I think what the goal is on the consumer side, especially those of us hoping to support our small business community, is to not leave those in the drawer, right? So get going, like get out there and spend that money with them, pick up a to-go order if it's doing that. But try to get back in the door as the business is reopening. And so I think that's an important piece.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd add to that even if you are reopening, there's a big portion of your consumer base that's not comfortable to come see you quite yet. So they're still going to be more than willing to buy support vouchers, but might not be comfortable coming in to see you. But 30, 60 days down the road, they are. And now that's a guaranteed visit that's coming in, and it's revenue that you got today. So even if you are starting to reopen, support vouchers are still important, especially with all the recent developments. They can come very back into play pretty predominantly.
That's great. So another question, which I think is an important one, Jane asks, how are the fees structured after the first year or after our promotion period ends? So if a merchant wants to continue, what does that look like?
Yeah, great question. So it's really based on the type of business that you are, but it can go anywhere from, let's say, $1.20, I believe, for like a coffee shop, kind of fast casual place, all the way up to about $8 or $9 for a place that's similar to like what we're looking at here, a yoga studio or something similar to that, like a day spa. So it's really anywhere between, it's typically about 17%, 15 to 17% of what we see as an average ticket for your type of business. It is a fixed cost. So what's really cool about that is you can actually fit that into your margins for the types of packages that you want to run. So if you're, feeling like a $1.20 might be a little bit much to get one customer through the door, you can run a package that'll get multiple customers through the door. Like maybe a 4-pack of whatever that service is. So that's one of the biggest differences of having to be a fixed cost compared to something like a revenue share, where they're taking 30, 40, 50% of the actual revenue from the offer.
So, and that's something you can walk them through, right? If a business owner reaches out to you and is talking through the platform and how to use it, in addition to the time period and the promotional opportunity now, they could also ask you about what that would look like going forward, and you could answer that specifically to their situation.
Definitely, yeah. So for everybody that's part of this program, before that obviously promotional period runs out, you will definitely be contacted by our team to let you know what your pay per visit fee would be moving forward, so that you obviously can make an educated decision on whether or not you want to stay on the platform.
So here is an interesting question too, and we may not have a full answer, but Kate is asking about the idea that, we do a lot of festivals in Tucson, and certainly some of them couldn't happen or will happen differently as they come back online going forward. But for example, Tucson Meet Yourself is interested in how they might be able to use the Hownd platform for our food vendors for a dispersed festival this year. So if, in other words, instead of maybe hosting it all in one compact area as they have done in the past, if they have to disperse for more social distancing practices and safer, environment, what could they do? And I imagine it's a variety of vendors involved, but maybe each of them have to be part of the platform. What are your thoughts, Adam?
Yeah, so we've actually have worked with festivals in the past. We actually did the Fall Fest for Local First back in November. So we do have ways that we can work with an actual festival and set it up so that each member of the festival is kind of branded in the same way, so that the offers look the same in the carousel or in the actual app for the consumer. And then also we could potentially do some kind of co-branded offers that would bring multiple kind of packages together within that festival, so that somebody's obviously going to see multiple vendors, especially if it's a dispersed festival. So yeah, that is a unique idea, but I'm sure we can, and I know Larry might be able to talk to that a little bit as well, but we're always kind of adapting and looking for new creative ways to apply our product, and I'm sure that's something that we can figure out with you.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add to that, Adam, is we've actually got a couple of festival experiences under our belt. You mentioned Local First Fall Festival, and then we also did Festivus, which a lot of folks are familiar with as well, over 2 days. So to your point, yes, we can customize a solution if necessary. And festivals are a great play for consumers and for merchants, for the food servers there.
Awesome. So I wasn't sure, I know you have the Joyful Yoga site up right now, and they're another customer from the Tempe area, I believe. I don't know if Charla is still on. I know she was a while ago, but if she is, if you could reach out to me in the chat room, and then I'll promote you to be able to talk. Okay, but if she pops up, you can watch for her as well. So Adam, is this okay, so the question from Martha is it a calendar year or just until the end of 2020? And I think she must be asking about our promotional period. And that is going to depend, right, on in terms of the pool of funds that the city and the county have put together. We want it to go as far as it can, but obviously we're going to know more after the initial rollout and after the initial sign-ons. Merchants certainly in the far reaches of the city. We want everybody to participate that can and that's interested. We need to gauge how that's going to go, and then continue either seeking support for as often as we can. But we don't exactly know how long that's going to last. And maybe Adam and Larry, from other experiences, could you say about maybe how that experience in Tempe has been? What number of businesses have signed on there? What is some experience?
Yeah, great question. So we have seen about, I believe, over 100 merchants sign on in Tempe in the last 8 weeks. And what we kind of calculate the sponsorship budget of what Pima County and City of Tucson has done is should be somewhere of about $1 million in revenue total over the whole program of direct deposit revenue that's going to be put into the bank accounts of business owners through those sponsorship funds. So it's a pretty significant amount of revenue, almost free money, right, that the city and the county are giving out to the business owners here. So obviously the earlier that you get on the platform and the earlier that you participate, the more chances of revenue that you have to make, as well as, those fees being covered by the city and by the county and by Hownd. So that would be, my biggest advice. And we've seen tons of success across the board in the city of Tempe, from multiple different types of businesses. So it's not just restaurants doing really well. It's not just, yoga studios or health and beauty. It's all different types of businesses that are seeing support from their local community. So that would be my advice, is just to make sure you guys make it as easy as possible for people to support you if they can. If they can't, then, obviously they're not going to. So that's the biggest thing, is just getting the word out there, getting your support voucher out there, and making it easy for people to support you.
That's great. And we plan to engage all of our partners to help us spread the word so that businesses do have access to jump on while they can. Martha asked, is there a sign up period? Can they sign up now? Walk me through, are we ready to go? And they reach out to you, and then what happens? What's the time frame to get going on this partnership?
Yeah, so go to the page, fill out the form. We'll have somebody contact you. If you fill it out today, you'd be contacted most likely this afternoon, right? And then we would help you get everything set up. And within 48 hours of you submitting your offer, it'll be live on the app. And as long as we have the website code on and the emails in, we can have that pushed out to your email list and on your website within 48 hours of signing up. So we move really quick. And once it's all installed, there's nothing else you guys have to do except for, log into your account, look at your dashboard, look at the results. And then if you want to run any other sort of promotion or package or offer, you just submit that offer and we handle all of the heavy lifting. We do all the design, we do all the distribution, and you guys don't have to pay anything for any of that work to be done for you.
That's awesome. And I really would encourage, again, that consumer aspect. I went and downloaded my Hownd app and I started taking a look at it. I'm all ready to go, right? So that when our businesses do start signing up, I can take full advantage, right? I can get my gift vouchers. I can start supporting our small business community. And so we're definitely going to want to share and spread the word wide. And you'll see future messaging with that in mind as the weeks roll on. So I think it's exciting. It's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be very useful for folks. What other questions? If others have questions, Larry and Adam are standing by to help answer. So I don't see any others listed here. I think we've given some good information. I'm just scrolling back to make sure. Teresa had asked for customers, is it as simple as downloading the app, or do businesses need to provide further instruction to customers in order for them to immediately engage with offers? I guess it could be a hybrid. Adam, what is your thought?
Yeah, great question. So for your customers, the most likely way that they're going to interact with you is going to be through your social media, your email list, and your website. Most of the time, it's going to be somebody that's a newer consumer to your business that's going to find you through the app So you really shouldn't have to educate people on the app, from your business, because like I said, they're going to find you on the website, which has the pop-up. They'll be able to see an email that comes from you with your support voucher. Or if they're looking at your social media, or just on their social media, they'll be able to see that in their newsfeed and actually make that purchase from you. So that's the easiest way to get your existing customers back through the door, is making it easy for them to see you and purchase from you. And then the app is where, the work that the city and the county is doing, as well as the press that we're going to all be going out and getting, and the word, that the message that's going to go out. Organically, we're going to start seeing consumers making purchases through the app that have never been into your business before, right? So there's that different kind of channel where customers are going to be coming from.
So Jane asked, do you have merchant groups gift cards? So I'm assuming that if you have several merchants in an area or in a district, would they have some kind of opportunity?
So that is a great question. We don't have anything quite like that yet, but that is something that, we've thought about, is how can we have like a group of businesses that are really close to each other, share kind of consumers in a tighter way. And so that's things that we are looking to experiment with. But right now, how our technology works is when somebody makes a purchase from you, they have to come into your location to redeem it, because we technically put kind of like an imaginary fence around your location. So the only way somebody can actually redeem that offer is when they're there. If they're sitting at their house and they're on their phone and they click redeem on the offer, it won't allow them to do it, because we know they're not actually at your physical location. So this allows us to prevent, somebody accidentally pressing that redeem button, or somebody using a coupon over and over again, or a buy now over and over again. We want to make sure they're at your location when they redeem it.
So just a couple of quick questions to round out our time. Again, on the app, My Hownd, any thoughts or formats? I know it's on an Apple, what did I say, iPhone? I don't know what you call it. You tell us how you download it.
Yeah. So just go to either the Google Play Store if you're on Android, or the iOS store if you're on Apple, and type in My Hownd. So that is the consumer-facing app. It's super easy to download. Once you create an account, you'll log in. You won't see probably a lot on there right now if you do go and download it today. But as soon as we sign up your business, within 48 hours, you'll see your offer populate in the app. And obviously, as the next week or two goes on, you're going to see a ton of local businesses in there, and that's when we'll start doing the consumer pushes to get consumers to purchase through the app.
And then, as the consumer, Kate asks, how do I find my favorite business? I think we were talking about that in an earlier meeting. It's going to come down to the number of businesses starting to arrive on the platform, and then the geofencing. Is that how it works?
Yeah, exactly. So what we'll do at the beginning, as we're developing the territory in a sense, is we'll have everything within 20-mile radius will show up within the app. And as we get more businesses on the platform, that radius will go down to about 10 miles. So 10 square miles around your location, if somebody's within that, anywhere between 10 to 20 square miles of your location, that your offer will show up in the app. So obviously it's designed to get people that are in your local area, and for the businesses that are in the more rural areas, we'll obviously widen that geofence so that the range is longer than 10 miles.
And then the final question here, how many app downloads do you have? I guess, how has My Hownd grown so far?
Yeah, great question. So in Tucson, I know that it's growing, and it'll continue to grow pretty fast once we have this kind of PR and press. In Tempe, we have thousands of downloads a day as we started this program and started rolling it out. So we've seen the community take off, and we've seen a ton of downloads through that. So it's part of the organic growth that we're going to all do as the partnerships of these organizations, but also part of making sure that you just make it easy for people to purchase from you directly on your website, email, or social. And that'll help the word of the app spread as well.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate, and we're staying on time, so I'm going to wrap us up. But I think we're excited to roll this out. So just as a reminder to all, as you said, it's a new program, but we're excited to bring it to Tucson and really appreciate the partnership with Pima County to do that. So as we wrap up, I'll remind you, we will be back again next Monday at 3 p.m. So be sure to register when you see that email invite in your inbox. Again, I want to thank Larry and Adam and the entire Hownd team, Joel as well, and our merchants that have showed up today from Tempe to share their advice and experience, and just everyone for joining. So again, it's our goal to keep you connected to the resources that you need as you work through recovery from this COVID-19 pandemic. And next week, we'll have a continued focus on retail with guest speakers from the International Council of Shopping Centers to share a national update and some success stories from retailers around the country, giving you some additional ideas and strategies as you navigate this challenging time. They're also offering free membership to small businesses for the next couple of months, so we'll give you more details about that. And you can always reach out directly to me or call our City of Tucson Economic Initiative Small Business Hotline at 520-837-4100. And be sure to check connecttucson.com for updates and sign up for our newsletter to get our email updates there as well. So with that, thanks everyone, and have a great afternoon.